ordinance. We have made it less about accountability and more about where the tension points are. For some political folks, the tension is this: people care more about defending a nightclub than they care about the issues political insiders deem to be more significant. That mindset is a problem. You do not get to tell people what to care about. And this ordinance is not and should not be about just one club. It is about the future of this corridor. It is about the precedent, it is about the process, and it is about how power actually moves. But we have allowed the narrative to get hijacked and shrinking down to one business because that creates what politics thrives in: division. It's easier to argue about one or two businesses than to talk about the actual facts. And the facts for me are simple. This overlay was proposed with no broad community meeting, no front-end community input, a small group of unnamed stakeholders at the table, and in multiple meetings, Councilman Taylor has refused to clearly name who those stakeholders were, and that matters. The second thing this overlay has exposed is the level of political elitism around who has adequate information that exists within the progressive infrastructure. I have now sat in 3 meetings where council member could not answer every question about the long-term impact. I've watched comparisons be made to other cities where the ordinances were structurally different. So it is unfair, especially for those of us who know how to pull legislation, read amendments, and have access to council members, to get online and shame everyday residents for not understanding something that was clearly not explained to them from the beginning. You cannot withhold clarity and criticize confusion. This overlay has exposed why people are apathetic to voting. It has exposed why people do not show up to community meetings. It has exposed why people do not trust politicians, because when people care about something that political insiders do not prioritize, their concerns get downplayed. It is easy to unify against Republicans in this progressive bubble that is comfortable. But when everyday people raise concerns that create internal tension, suddenly progressive leaders get quietly. They avoid discomfort. They avoid disagreement. They avoid sitting with multiple truths. But democracy requires tension. Democracy requires disagreement. It requires input from people about things that they care about, even when it is politically inconvenient. You cannot champion participation in theory and dismiss it in practice. And that is what this moment is revealing for me.